Hey, social studies teachers, this video is going to give you a quick overview on how to incorporate week 1, day 2 activities from the social studies resources into your Schoology course. So the first step is to open up that teacher overview. For more help with how to get there, you can watch Monday's video. And what we will do first is edit the live interaction slideshow. So I'm going to open up that teacher overview. Just for reference, remember that teacher instruction video for Monday is going to include a lot more details. This is going to be a quicker video. So I'm going to go under Tuesday and click on the live interaction slideshow. Remember, this could be used for the first 15 minutes with your kids that come to your Zoom or Google Meets. And this could be something that you would have when you're sharing your screen as you're talking with your kids that show up. So you'll notice the first thing here you see there is the link to the sign in Google form. This is actually the same forced copy link that you saw on Mondays. So remember, you will want to replace this section with your own Google form once you've made a copy of it. And you could use that same form for Monday through Friday, as the form forces the kids to put the date. So you could always sort that information by date. Okay. So the next part, you would, of course, go over your video conferencing expectations, and your agenda for the day is you have an icebreaker activity, a syllabus overview, and then on their own, students will complete a scavenger hunt to check for understanding on the syllabus. So you see the icebreaker there. And then at this point, you would do just some quick important pieces from your syllabus. You don't want to go over the entirety of it with them. You won't have time in that 15 minutes, but there's probably some key things. Most importantly, what can they expect from this class? So on the next slide, this is again a teacher note, so you would take this off before you are showing it to your students. But we've included 2 syllabus templates that you can edit. Some of you might have had the same syllabus like I had for years, and I could copy and paste and use the same one. But it is important to think about what parts of our syllabus might we need to change because of this virtual environment that we are finding ourselves in. So there's a Google Slides version and a Google Docs version. Either one that you click on, it's going to have you force make a copy. As always, I recommend that you rename this with your last name just so it's easier for you to find later on. Now, like I said, do not feel compelled that you have to use this. However, there might be components of this that you want to use, or maybe you want to transfer bits and pieces of your old syllabus onto a format like this, such as Google Slides. Totally up to you, but there's some key information that might be important to think about, I think, on slide 5. When it comes to what students can expect each week, and really we should probably put each day, because we know that the requirements for TEA requires kids to engage each day in the learning so that we can count them for attendance. So we want to make sure we're really clear about communicating that. So we want to say, I'll post the day's assignments, right? And saying when we're going to do that, maybe it's 8 a.m. At the beginning of each day. We want to give them information about the video conferencing sessions that we'll have. One thing you might consider is having one link that all class periods will use at their designated time in the day. So it's kind of like a reoccurring meeting. So that way you're not driving yourself crazy with 7 different links and 7 different passwords for each class period, but rather just letting your kids join in that session during their designated class period. You also want to make sure that you clearly communicate that assignments for the day, right, will be due, and then saying that, clearly communicating that as well. So there might be other pieces of this that you want to use. There might be campus-specific things. So this document's really just some guiding questions for you as the teacher. Once you have your syllabus the way that you want it, whether it be a Google Doc, a Google Slides, whatever it may be, we want to make sure we add that syllabus into Schoology for your students to reference, and they're actually going to need it for the day's assignment that they'll be turning into you. So I'm going to go into my Schoology course. Notice that I'm already in my Tuesday folder, but I'll go backwards so that I can show you how I got there. Remember, I have my week 1. I'm going to go under Tuesday. And then from there, I'm going to add materials. Okay, and what I'm going to want to do is put my syllabus in. So I'm actually going to do that as a page, and that's only because I chose Google Slides. You can certainly add it as a link, but I'm going to just show you as a page just because there's a little more steps involved. So if this is something you want to do, it might help. So I'm going to call this syllabus. I can put in instructions here. For me, I'm going to say, please go through each of the 8 slides or however many I have, but it's good to tell them so they know they go through all the slides to learn more about what to expect in this class. It's always a good idea to bold, underline, highlight, whatever you can do to make your instructions stand out. Now, I want to put this syllabus that I've completed at this point into my page. So I'm going to click on this Insert Content. I'm going to go over to my Google Drive Resource app, and it should pop up with the most recent document, which should be my online course template. If it's not, you could always grab the title of it and paste it into that search bar. But I'm going to click on the check mark next to it. I'm going to go to Import and Import Embed. And it doesn't seem like it right now, but what that's going to do is pop it up for students to see right away rather than them having to click a link to go somewhere else. Okay, now if I hover here, it says that it's going to display this on a new page. So I could do that option, or I could display it in line, which is what I'm going to show you. So click on Display in Line and then Create. And you'll see what this is going to do is to kind of put those slides right there. So as soon as my students come to this, it's already open, and then they're just navigating with those arrows to learn more about my class. So if I go back to my live interaction slides, there was one more piece of the day's learning. So I've got my syllabus done. I'm going to take out this box. And this is kind of like a placeholder so that I know with my live kids, I'm going to pull up my syllabus and maybe I want to take note of what specifically I'm going to go over. But this is the on your own prompt, the scavenger hunt. Okay, so you can access the scavenger hunt Google form either here, or if you notice back on the teacher overview document, it has the Google form syllabus scavenger hunt here. Either way, it takes you to the same place. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do it from the live slides since we were already working in this. So when you click on this link, it's going to force you to make a copy. And what this is a scavenger hunt to check for students' understanding of your syllabus. Like, how will I know they actually read it? And how will I know that they attended for the day, right? So this is not a graded assignment. So you'll notice I didn't make it a quiz, or I did make it a quiz actually. However, you don't want to necessarily put this in the grade book. It's more like, did they do it or did they not do it? But it is useful for them to get feedback to know what their answers were. So what you will notice is that this still needs to be customized, okay? Students are going to put in their name, their class period, but then I put just general questions here that you would have to go and put the actual answers to based on your personal syllabus. So for example, maybe you put a question here about your introduction, like, which of the following are my interests? Hunting, fishing, all of the above, whatever. How often will I post assignments, okay? And notice here that I made all of these required questions, and I did put an answer key. When you click on answer key, you can select the correct answer, and daily is going to be the right answer, right? Because that's our expectation based on TEA's requirements. Once I've set my correct answer, I can click on done. I can do the same thing here. When will live video conferences happen? That's also kind of a standard answer. They're done during the first 15 minutes. So you'll notice that's already been marked correct. Now there's going to be other questions where it'll just say option 1, 2, and 3, like you see on this question. Assignments for the week will be due by. Okay, so this is where you're going to put in the time. I'll post important announcements using, again, here's where you're going to have to put in your specifics. Notice I already marked a correct answer, so whatever your correct answer is, you'll want to make sure that it corresponds with the check mark. Okay, again, this is totally editable based on your preferences. I just wanted to give you something to start with. So once you have your syllabus scavenger hunt done the way you want it, we then have to pull that in to your Schoology course. So our next step is to edit that syllabus scavenger hunt and put it in Schoology. So let's say I already have this edited, and now I want to get it into Schoology. I'm going to click on this send button and click on this link because I need a link. I'm going to copy that link, Then I'm going to go into my Schoology course, and notice I'm under Tuesday's assignment. I'm going to click this back button so that I can make sure I'm in the right spot. Oh, yep, there we go, Tuesday. I'm going to click on Tuesday. And now I want to add materials. And for Google Form, I suggest that you go to add where it says link right here. Remember, we already copied that link from our Google Form. So I'm going to go ahead and paste it. I'm going to title this Syllabus Scavenger Hunt. And then I might want to say something like complete day 2. Oops. Just reiterating when it needs to be completed. Now, normally when we do like assignments in Schoology, you can put in the due date, but it's a little bit different when using a Google form. So at this point, I'm going to click on, I untoggled this display in Schoology, and instead I want it to display in a new window. I'm just hovering, I'm not clicking right now, and it shows me it's going to display in a new window. I'll show you why we want to do that here in a second. I'm going to click Add so that it pops up in my Tuesday's content. So if I scroll down, you'll see the syllabus scavenger hunt is there. Now I told you guys that the students will need your syllabus in order to complete that scavenger hunt. So what you'll notice is when your students click on syllabus scavenger hunt, it opens that Google form into a new tab. That way, as they're looking for those answers, they can click back into Schoology and go into your syllabus to find those answers. Now, of course, if you put your syllabus in as like an attachment through Microsoft Word or Google Docs, they could do the same thing. I just wanted you to see that capability there. Once you have your syllabus and your syllabus scavenger hunt for Tuesday in Schoology, your next option is to put your live slides into your Schoology course. That would be these slides right here. For more information on how to do that, you can refer to Monday's Day 1 video as I show that step by step. And then your last step for Tuesday is to insert directions, whether those be video directions you use on Screencastify or directions perhaps that are just written in Schoology. I would make sure that I'm in my Tuesday folder. I could add materials. Maybe I add, on Monday's video, I showed you guys adding a page. So I could put Tuesday's directions, whatever I choose. I want to just stay consistent each day so my students know what to expect. So I'll say, please view the syllabus slides and then complete the Google form scavenger hunt. I'm sure I have typos in there, but for right now, I want to make sure I'm really clear about those directions, highlighting them as much as I can, and then I'm going to create. Now again, I can reformat the order in which these things show up so the directions are at the top. And again, it's really important that we unpublish these things, right? So that our students aren't going to see it, but we can still see it and it's ready to go. And then Tuesday at 8 a.m. or whatever time slot you've designated for yourself, you can go and publish those things. And you could also copy them to your course. As always, guys, we are here for you, so please reach out to your social studies ISTs, your tech coach, or your Schoology support teachers for help.